You're as cold as ice. Dun, 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 dun.
You stole my intro, you son of a bitch.
We're willing to sacrifice your love, Froggy.
There's no ice, baby. Through the heart.
Hello, everybody. Yes, we have quite a bit to talk about. So, this episode of Stargirl, we're on season 3, episode 10. We're getting close to the end, but The Killer is the name of this episode. So, with that in mind, we have to think, is this our big reveal? Is this going to show us who has been watching all that? We think it's Ultra Humanite, but we're dealing with far more than we expected. Things are looking bright and shiny for the world of the Crocs today, and that is
Artemis got accepted to college in Wyoming.
Yeah, that's very good. And also, they have their own little side mission, because it looks like when dealing with the McKents, the Ice family, they aren't happy with the idea of forgiving, going ahead and pushing on with that.
Because this episode is with basically Pat taking the lead and telling basically Starman to shut up and follow his lead. But what does he do? Anything but be a hero. This show just proves that Starman is nowhere near the level of Captain America. He is the worst superhero I've ever come across. To be in the JSA. Now, that being said, this is this version. This is not the other versions in the comic book.
You need to calm down there, because
although not Survivor Pimbledon, but the other Starman, the real Starman, did cheat. He did have adultery. He basically had an affair with Black Canary, the original one.
Wow.
While they're both married.
I want to go ahead and just say that I think no, Starman's definitely still dealing with his issues, but it's revealed in this one. They go have a talk with him. It looks like there's going to be no fixing it. But the Crocs actually go after, and they have a conversation about...
But only after, basically, the McKents, the grandma comes to Courtney's house, and it basically is going to kill Courtney's mom until Artist's mother, Mrs. Croc, Paula Croc, decides to step in and fires a bow and arrow, basically a crossbow arrow right at the door. She's the next one won't miss on purpose.
Yeah.
So this leads to the Crocs basically going to talk to them, but also I love that the Artist's mom basically lays into Courtney's mom and says, "You know what? This is why I told you need to defend yourself. None of this pacifist bullshit." Because, as we see in the thumbnail, she's not going to be there to protect her again.
We're also going to have to discuss Courtney. She gets to talk with,
Cameron.
Of course, Cameron. Cameron wants to find out the exact details. Who killed my dad? All this. I know he did things that weren't always on the good side, but he was my daddy. With that in mind, we get a lie. Courtney takes the blame for Icicle's death, when we all remember Mike. Yeah. Ice all over the road.
And she does not bring up the fact that that Cameron's father was obsessed with Courtney's mom, and in the end was going to kill her because he couldn't have her.
Yeah. So with that being said, Cameron's like, "I never want to see you again," and runs away. Well, who else? Who else do we have to go over? Mike and Jakeem. They're in the forest. They're running. They're talking to Thunderbolt, and they're trying to think, and then they get caught in a trap. It turns out that Sydney Berman is out there, and she was setting a trap for the Ultra Humanite. Yes, gonna kill them all, he said last time. And when Mike actually is caught by Sydney, she tells him, "Hey, I'm trying to capture him because I think my dad was involved, and maybe that'll help find a cure for me. You need to go just screw around, do whatever. Just go. Leave me alone. And they pretty much agree, and they wish to be at the cafe with milkshakes, and then they realize they should probably tell everybody else about the big gorilla. And that's when the team is brought up to speed. Everybody now knows about the Ultrahumanite, a scientist who hid in the body of a famous actress and went by many names, went body to body, and ultimately found a form that was strong enough to face the Justice Society. And it seems that maybe he, perhaps, is the one who was watching everybody too. It fits his MO. So with that in mind, it seems we've got it. It's all coming together. Well, that's when the Crocs come in. They aren't actually in the room learning about the Ultrahumanite. No, they just get off the phone with their daughter. Things are looking up. They think they got through to the McKents, saying that they need to find peace, forgiveness. It's the only way forward and what's best for all the families. They see on the way home, on the ground, one of the flyers for the gym. For, Sportsmaster's gym. And then they notice more, leading to a trail towards a manhole.
Going to the sewer. Now, for those who've been paying attention, the sewer, we know that it was somewhere, well, we don't know if it's in the sewer, but somewhere there's a bunch of room with a bunch of monitors, and someone's been building a puzzle and growling like some kind of monster. So,
yeah. So with that, we get to go ahead and see they're going down. They're going to face whatever it is trying to lure them down there. And they are pretty much led by Flyer into...
Practice, well, as a Sportsmaster says, is like, if someone's trying to mess with us, well, they're going to get what's coming to them.
They go in.
Yes. They go in, they crawl down, they walk in, they see the monitors, and they're like, what the is all this? Only for, well, someone in a mask and stuff basically stabs Sportsmaster in the gut. He slowly starts freezing, turning to ice. Well, Artist's mother, Paula, she a tigress, she ends up being stabbed too, and they lay on the ground and they basically hold their hands with each other, saying "I love you" to each one of them as they slowly freeze, and then the person basically does dispose them as basically icicle, I guess, got snow powder.
Yeah.
His face mascot is off, and it's revealed to be Frosty the Snowman. He's pissed off. Actually, no, it's icicle. He lied. Somehow he survived. This is a theory I thought about too, because they could bring him back eventually, because this happened to Snowman. I'm not Snowman, but Iceman before. Shattered in pieces, and then because it seems Hydro Man evaporated. Was able to form his body
water, and it can come back together. I didn't see this coming. Icicle is bad. Yeah, no, neither did they, and they got killed. I loved them. They can't make me.
And that's the thing. I kept thinking like somebody's gonna die this episode because, and I was like, oh man, the Crocs are so happy. It's like even said everything's going right for the Crocs. And then I was like, no, you bastards.
Oh my gosh, you got to feel so bad for Artemis because. Well, yeah, she's going to Nebraska, but she lost her parents before because they were in prison. Yeah. Now she's lost them sorry, that was almost one. Again. Jeez, you're going to have to feel so bad for her. And they don't even know. I don't think there's any way that they can just find out.
No. They don't know if they're dead or not. All they know is that they're gone or missing, so they don't know.
I'm hurting so bad from this.
But before all this, I don't know if you mentioned it, but everybody basically, Mike and Jakeem had told everybody who they're dealing with, and it's basically Ultrahumanite. They saw the giant gorilla. Like I said, so everybody's like, I love how Courtney's speech though. Besides, like everyone needs to come together, including the Kents, and meanwhile, Rick is being a dick. Oh my gosh, Rick is he needs to be basically smacked upside the head, taken down a level. He is going villain level. He is basically addicted to his hourglass, and he snapped it basically at Bat's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, Rick needs to be taken down a notch. I'm glad that he got humiliated and got his ass kicked by Cameron. But overall, though, like you said, like that brings them down. They're down a few people now. We do
such a good episode.
But we do know that we got to see Christine. I think what her name was, right? Is that her name? Is the one that's in the woods that Mike we're looking for?
Sydney.
Sydney. Too many freaking C names. So yeah, she was trying to set a trap for loser. But I love how Mike says, like, yeah, you kind of need a bigger net.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we talked about that. We've pretty much discussed everybody in this episode now because I forgot about mentioning Rick because Rick can go suck something.
So
dumbass.
That being said, if the Crocs are gone, does this mean we get more Artemis? Or are we going to get... I mean, there's only 2 episodes left. They got to bring somebody else in. They're really cool. I hope Alan Scott shows up. You know, that'd be awesome. Or someone else, because they have an Injustice villain show up. We know that Dr. Midnight's alive. Basically, Starman's alive. Who else could be from the JSA could be alive?
It's a good question. And I don't know if we're going to...
Is Jay Garrett going to show up at the end?
Is it only 2 more episodes? I thought it was 3.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm going to look at a calendar right now because it ends November.
Today's the 9th.
Yes, today's the 9th, but it's supposed to end November
30th?
7th? No, it was a single digit. Sometime in November.
Well, we're past the single digits. We're now in the double digits for the next couple weeks.
I meant December. I'm sorry.
December 7th?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that would have to be. So we're going to be... We have only a few more episodes remaining, and there might be a skip. There might be a skip on the 23rd, something like that. We're going to have to wait and see. But it's such a good episode. It's such a good show. And it's hurting me so bad in a good way.
Thoughts about this, though? Do you think Grundy will come back at the very end?
On a Monday.
Giant monkey versus giant zombie.
I'd take it, and you know what? They haven't gotten to use. They've only used once. What's it called? A Stripe, the bot.
Yes.
So he needs to come in too, and about maybe 4. I don't think it's 4. We're on 10. It's probably a 13 episode.
The other thing is I'm really curious about because they filmed 2 different endings.
Yes, because Jeff Johns apparently wanted it to be secured. So if they got another season, they have one way they can go. If they were not going to have another season, they wanted something that wraps up.
After this show's end, I hope they reveal what the other ending would have been.
Yeah, I hope so as well. But we're going to have to wait and see. We want to thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you show some love for Stargirl out on the internet somewhere.
If you're on Twitter, socials, hashtag, share it out. Tweet your love for this.
Yeah, because Stargirl needs support, and I don't know if it'll ever get a revival anywhere else.
It would be great to see it show up on HBO Max.
Yeah, but...
Because if you're going to let shows like Titans continue, come on. If you're clean a slate, you get rid of everything. You don't just leave the crappy shows up.
Exactly. Also, make sure to... For our channel, that was for Stargirl, but for our channel, please make sure to like and subscribe. We want to hear your thoughts on the show, but if you don't have any thoughts on the show, well, just say what you're having for dinner or breakfast. It helps out the channel. And that's pretty much it. We want to thank you so much for watching. You are great to have here, and we hope to see you again real soon. So for Froggy and myself, one last thank you before we say goodbye.
And remember, you can burn down the Amazon with one match.
Please don't burn down the Amazon.
Or bazookas and flame packs.
Oh, dear God, no!